It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's Monday. Welcome to Monday. I'm Al Quartermont along with Stephen Maxwell, and we are glad that you could be with us here this morning as we get our program underway for this first day of your work week. Hope you had a good weekend. Why do the weekends always go so fast?
Oh, they always do.
They fly by, and here we are.
Yeah.
Ready to rock and roll with another week. Any big stories on tap for today?
You know, a little sparse for news stories, so it's one of those where I'm waiting to see kind of what happens, and hopefully nothing happens, all good stuff, but I got a couple interviews and hopefully give me an opportunity to finish some things up that I shot a long time ago.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, the news cycle kind of goes sometimes wild and sometimes creeps along.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have like an amount of videos I would like to do in a week, and some days it's like 1, 2. I've never just had one, but usually 2, and then I'll have days with like 5. So just depends on the day.
Yeah. Well, your Cowboys won. That was an interesting game.
Oh, it was boring for most of it, and
then it went wild in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was back and forth.
Looked like they were going to lose, and then your kicker, what was it, a 62-yard field goal to tie the game? 64-yard field. That's Brandon Aubrey. The dude kicks 60-plus yard field goals like most kickers kick 40-yarders.
Well, and that's what I texted you, but when I was watching the game at my friend's house, they're like, oh, y'all are going to lose. Like, I'm telling you, like, he makes these kicks.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't miss kicks, and he's really good at long-distance ones.
I mean, that would have been good from, like, 70.
It was good from 70. There's no way, yeah, because it was almost to the middle of the pylon.
Yeah.
It was close when it hit the net. But, yeah, I was confident he was going to make that. Was I confident the Cowboys' offense could score in overtime? No. But they ended up doing it at the end, so they almost lost it, though, after that kick as well.
Saints lost. Spencer Rattler played well. They just need a little more help. And they played a fairly good game. The Niners were without their starting quarterback, and Mac Jones, who kind of washed out in New England, looked pretty good yesterday for the Niners, which shows sometimes when you put a quarterback with a better team, guess what? They play better too.
Yeah. When I was at my friend's house, my friend is a Ravens fan. His wife's a Saints fan. And I'm a Cowboys fan, so they have Sunday tickets. We had all 3 on the same screen.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. I tend to, on Sundays now, just keep it kind of parked on Red Zone.
Yeah.
Because, they do a great job of making sure that you see everything that's important. But when one of my sons is home, we fight a little bit for the TV because he's a big Saints fan and he likes to watch the whole Saints game, and we'll flip to Red Zone during the commercials.
I was like, let him watch his Saints game.
I know, yeah. He won't be with us much longer because he's getting married in December.
He can watch his own Saints game.
Yeah, exactly.
He can, whenever he has a kid, he can fight with Miss Rachel.
Then I'll have the TV all to myself.
That's right. Then it'll be sad he can't flip back and forth.
Right. And I know my wife will be sad because he's moving out. It seems like it's harder on the wife than...
Wait, who?
Andrew.
Oh, Mason hasn't moved out yet?
Yeah, he's at Tech. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Andrew's the last one.
No, we still have Aaron at home.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But he's probably just saving some money at this point.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That's what I would do.
He's not home much, but he sleeps there. Takes a shower and is gone.
Oh.
But it's been, after having 7 kids in your home, getting to that empty nest stage, it's definitely different.
You and your wife have to talk to each other now.
Exactly. I can't get away with doing what I want to do so much.
Oh, I hear you. Whenever we've been so engrossed in toddler land that whenever Sophia is with somebody else, me and my wife have to figure out how to talk to each other again.
Without baby talk.
Yeah, we're like, well, what's Sophia doing? I wonder how Sophia is.
So it was a fun weekend, though, for sports. LSU got the win over Florida. Coach Kelly went off on a reporter. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I honestly had to ask who won the next day.
They were kind of questioning some of the offense, and he's like, we have a good team, and we look at our record. I mean, he felt like the reporter was being too nitpicky, I guess.
Well, I did talk to my friend. He's a big Saints LSU fan. I was like, they got 5 picks and only scored 20 points. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
So that is a problem.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The Saints had a lot of drop passes yesterday too. So
the Saints or the Tigers?
Oh, Tigers, you mean?
That's what I was talking about. He said that LSU had 5 picks.
Oh, LSU did. Okay.
And only scored 20 points.
I didn't get to see the LSU game because I was at the LCU game, Christian, and they won their game. They rallied to defeat Wayland Baptist. They held the lead much of the game, and they gave up like 3 straight touchdowns. Going into the fourth quarter, they got down, but then they came back, tied it up, then they got the winning drive with like a minute 15 left and got the win. So that was a fun game.
I don't want to be a jerk, and I don't think there's any Wayland Baptist fans out there, but I would hate to go to a school called Wayland Baptist.
What is that?
Where do you go? Wayland Baptist? Nothing against it. It's just not. It doesn't have like a punch. Like LCU is cool. No, Louisiana Christian.
Well, they beat us last year, so able to come back and get the win. So that was cool. All right, I've got the Coach Kelly clip queued up. You want to listen to it?
Sure.
So
he's a little grumpy.
Yeah. So the reporter asked him about the team's struggles on offense Saturday. Let's see. Is this gonna play? Why is it not playing? Everything's normal that I have on my...
Is the computer muted?
Let me see. Just double check that.
But yeah, they were telling me 5 picks, 20 muted. Points.
I'm doing everything I normally do. Let's try this one.
What are you seeing with your offense? I know you love these immediate post-game sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. 17-1. Give them some respect. How about that? Give them some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. This is ridiculous. For a group of seasoned reporters, that kind of question is so out of line.
I don't know about a line, but it's kind of annoying. I get it. Yeah. I'd be annoyed too. Yeah. However, the reporter just kept digging in. They're like, don't criticize my offense. Well, why can't you run the ball? Why can't you convert on third down?
Yeah.
Golly, who is that guy?
Yeah.
He don't care. He's getting what he wants.
Exactly.
You play to win the game.
He kind of channeled Herm Edwards there a little bit. We played to win the game. Kelly, he gets a little fired up.
I mean, it probably would have been fine if you just answered like, "Oh, we won the game. We did what we had to do, and the offense maybe tweaked some things here and there, but we were glad that we could score. We needed to score." Next,
he did get trucked a little bit by one of his offensive linemen blocking a guy out of bounds and right into him, and he went flying. So I don't know if that put him in a little bit of bad mood. So
it happens. People get grumpy.
I was just looking through social media here. There's a picture of him speaking to the players before the game. He's got his hand up, and someone says, "Oh, no, it's been brought to my attention that Brian Kelly is an active member of the Nazi Party."
Oh, Lord.
Remember that? The whole Jan stuff. Oh, my gosh. But, yeah. So
I had a hard time with sports this week, and I was so engrossed with the actual world happening,
Yes.
And But I'll try and catch up on some college football eventually.
Yeah, it was a really good weekend for college football. You had some exciting games. Texas A&M getting the win over Notre Dame. The Georgia-Tennessee game ended up being a really exciting game with Georgia pulling out that one. Sorry, Sandra. I'm sure she's disappointed her Vols lost. There are a few other games. It's getting now to that time of year where the games start to mean a little bit more, and we'll get into the heart of the SEC competition, which any team in the SEC, you've got a brutal schedule, so it's more of a war of attrition for those teams in that conference right now.
I don't know if it's because my mind is taken to other places, with life in this stage of my life, but it's just, even the NFL, I just don't have the luster for it.
As you get older, that definitely, I found anyway, that you're right.
It's just not exciting like it used to be. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. You're growing up, Stephen.
I guess so. I just think it's kind of getting
putting
stale.
away childish things, as they say.
Oh, I guess so. I don't have time for the NFL. I'm smoking my pipe and reading Faulkner or something instead.
Reading Faulkner. Okay.
I don't know. Something.
Well, it was a heavy week, and I think a lot of us were still trying to process it. And sometimes we use media to help us understand and figure things out. And I definitely felt myself doing that this weekend. And, when you have your feed, whether it's on Facebook or X or Instagram, whatever, that algorithm tends to feed you more of what you're already consuming. So you kind of get caught up in that a little bit. I know, for me, all of a sudden I feel like every other post on X that I'm seeing is something about Charlie Kirk.
Everything. Everything.
Just a lot of videos of him talking to kids that I hadn't seen before. I would stop to watch them occasionally, but not like lately. And I'm just amazed at his brilliance and saddened that it's gone. It is a real loss for sure. And I know a lot of people are feeling that way. But, all right, we need to take a break, and we'll come back. If you guys want to weigh in on the conversation, our number, 318-442-8255. Back right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Shares of Tesla are surging in pre-market trading. CEO Elon Musk purchased about $1 billion worth of the car maker's shares, according to a regulatory filing. The billionaire bought the stock indirectly through a trust on September 12th. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. and China are very close to resolving the TikTok issue. Bessent spoke to reporters today as trade talks resumed in Madrid. TikTok, owned by China's ByteDance, faces a deadline this week to reach a deal to continue operations in the U.S. A senior Treasury official had said earlier that U.S. and Chinese representatives discussed TikTok, trade, and the economy yesterday. Shares of NVIDIA are lower in pre-market trading. China ruled that the company violated anti-monopoly laws with a high-profile 2020 deal. That move ratchets up the pressure on Washington during sensitive trade talks. Futures are higher this morning after a mixed close this last Friday, but the NASDAQ pushed to another new record high. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Well, if you're enjoying this weather, you're going to love this coming week's forecast. But if you were hoping for rain, not going to be too happy. Our forecast calling for partly cloudy skies today. It is going to be hot. 93 will do it for the afternoon high. No mention of rain in the forecast at all, and little, if any, breeze at all to help cool things down. Tonight, temperatures down to 69 degrees, and it looks like more the same tomorrow. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Talkback. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
And again, we invite your calls this morning as we'll have an open line throughout most of the day. Kind of continuing with sports, I don't know if you got to watch any of the Sunday night game last night, Vikings and the Falcons, but I'm in a pick'em pool with bunch of friends. Actually, there are about 30 of us in it. And that's where you pick the games every week and see who gets the best record or whatnot. Out of 30 plus people in it, I was the only one that picked the Falcons.
Did they win?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, that's good.
They actually kind of dominated the game.
Really?
And it was a field goal fest. Both teams were kicking a lot of field goals. I think there was only one touchdown in the game. But what's interesting is that the Falcons last week lost because their kicker, Younghoe Koo, missed the field goal. So guess what? They had a new kicker this week.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Which kind of surprised me because Koo had been with them for a few years.
Yeah, he's been there a while.
They sent a guy, John Parker Romo. I'm not sure if he was related to Tony.
Probably his brother.
I don't know. I don't think he is, but I'm not 100% sure.
There's a bunch of Romos out there. But
they signed him. He goes 5 for 5 and was named the player of the game along with the defensive player, Leonard Floyd. And this was after the game. Melissa Stark with NBC was interviewing Parker Romo and asking him about his teammate, Leonard Floyd.
Let's keep going.
And I know you're learning your teammates' names. You know their names, right?
I know Bijan.
This is Leonard Floyd over here. You guys want it? Nice to meet you. Back to you guys.
That's hilarious. He hadn't even met all of his teammates yet.
He was probably into soccer beforehand.
Probably. But I mean, like when you started a new workplace or something where even if it's like 20 something people or so in there, it takes you a while to get to, at least for me, faces, and I'm sure you experience this like I do because we've been on TV, everybody feels like they know us.
Yeah.
And so the worst is like when you're with your wife and you know this person, you've talked to them multiple times and had conversations, but you don't always remember their name.
Well, that's par for the course for Al. So.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding.
You want to tell me that like every person's name?
No, it's tough. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and it feels kind of embarrassing when you're trying to introduce your wife to somebody and then you're like, oh, this is my wife, Michelle. And you're kind of hoping they say, oh, hi, I'm John. But they don't always do that.
Well, I have to tell my wife, I was like, if we're in that situation and I introduce you first,
to
ask their name.
I need to coach my wife. That's good.
Or like you do with your kids, like if they're asking to stay the night at somebody's house, and they don't want to, but they have to ask in front of their friend, they'll say, may I? And that's code for, I really don't want to go. You know what I mean? Like you have to have your little language.
Yeah. I think we need to get the etiquette ladies back from Mind Your Manners. And they can tell us how to handle that situation.
I used to be really bad at names, and I still kind of am, but I've been in those embarrassing situations before, and I'm trying to make an effort, because like you said, it's not, it almost sounds presumptuous, but it's just, it's a small town, everyone kind of knows.
And then here's another thing, as you get older and you know more and more people, is you'll see somebody and you know their name.
Oh yeah.
You know it, but for whatever reason, your brain is saying, I'm not giving it to you right now.
Yeah.
And it like puts you like almost in a panic mode. Because you don't want to be embarrassed.
There was I'm not going to say who it was or their names, but I know their name now. A couple of weeks ago, I was like, hey man, this is how I talk to you.
Yeah, I do too, yeah.
And he goes, remember my name? And I was like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, close this. And I'm like, crap. He called me out.
Wow. Well, no, I mean, when you meet a lot of people constantly, you know a lot of people, but sometimes, and there are people that I know who just are like, first time they get a name, they remember it forever. And I'm jealous of those types of people.
People have different memories, different skill sets.
Yeah.
Or they're just nicer people than me and you.
Right.
I don't know.
Pay attention more. I feel like because I always have so many things I'm thinking about at any one time that maybe that's part of it. You have to concentrate a little more.
I like to read a lot. Yeah. I'm a big book guy, but sometimes like I'll read and reread because I'm thinking about something else completely. I'm just looking in words.
Yeah, you get through like 3 or 4 pages and you're like, I get that with driving even. Yeah. Like, wait, how did I get here?
Or like a lot of your debate bros, like Charlie Kirk. Like they have to have photographic memories.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, to spew out stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's go to the phone. We got some calls coming in. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Maybe it's early onset dementia.
Could be. You never know. I guess I'm getting to that age.
He's been hanging on for about 20 years now.
Yeah, well, the best cooperative extension agents are the ones that they basically don't remember names very well, but they don't let that slow them down. And sometimes they actually pick up the name in the conversation. So anyway, the reason I called is, the internet is and Facebook are the most accurate things that you can ever involve yourself in.
Yes.
But I noticed that our illustrious state has basically licensed and put in action the first carbon sequestration site, which, interestingly enough, is going to be in Cameron Parish, probably in an area that even if there's a leak, nobody will notice it, unless the machines start beeping saying there's a leak. But Governor DeSantis apparently has called carbon sequestration a scam.
Oh, really? Interesting.
And this was back either in April or May when his legislature went against his opinion and set up a study committee to see whether or not that was something that maybe they could engage themselves in, at least as a state. But it's kind of interesting if you look at the comparison of Mr. Landry and Mr. DeSantis. The comparison in terms of national stature and so forth are like night and day. And of course, old Jeff is, hey, let's go. Let's get some more money.
Yeah, there's no doubt that he's supporting it. He wants Louisiana to be an energy hub for the country, and that is obviously part of the plan with some people. Yeah, I'm looking at what you said, and DeSantis did in fact say that back in March, stating his opposition to it. Interesting.
Well, anyway, I mean, it just seems so senseless when you start looking at all the facts that surround it and what percentage of the total carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is produced by human activity. It begins to make you wonder about all this sort of maybe one more pebble on the beach might cause it to collapse. And you won't find out till you put one more pebble down. But
on that note, I saw an interview with Doug Burgum, former North Dakota governor, who's our Secretary of the Interior, I believe now, and he was talking about the whole carbon concept and everything, and noted how, like states like California that stopped doing proper forest management, that has led to so many massive forest fires through the years. And he talks about how every time there's one of those forest fires, it produces way more carbon in the air than what human beings themselves could put out. So it does seem sometimes to be a situational concern by some people.
Well,
would the difference be like at a constant rate, though? I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I'm not smart in this, so I'll just shut up.
Yeah, well, I still remember years ago I was at a fisheries meeting, and that was back when there was this little mussel from a type of, not a clam, but a bivalve from Europe that was sweeping through the Mississippi River system.
Yeah.
And anyway, the deal was that it attaches to things, and it was clogging up intakes and outflows from all sorts of industrial and municipal systems. And so this learned scientist from LSU was saying, well, we have to study what effect they're going to have if they get on our oysters. And so at the meeting that I was attending, I said, well, do we have native mussels? Or yes, we do.
Yeah.
I said, well, don't they attach to oysters? Well, yes, they do. So don't we have blue crabs? Yes. Well, don't blue crabs eat the native mussels? Yes. Well, what makes you think they won't eat the zebra clams or mussels?
Right.
Says, we have to study.
Yeah.
Well, it was because there was millions of dollars of federal money for research.
Yep. Bingo. It's always about the money, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, So DeSantis is not Jeff's friend on this particular issue.
Well, thanks for calling that to our attention. I appreciate it. You know, speaking of muscles, I was talking to my brother the other day because when I was growing up, one of the things that we did living in Milwaukee, right on Lake Michigan, was in the springtime, people would go down to Lake Michigan and they would harvest this little fish known as a smelt, S-M-E-L-T, or up there they would call it a schmelt. And you used to put these little nets, you either walk out in wading boots and then have a net and come back, or they would drop a net from like the jetties, kind of like the piers, and bring them up, and people they were really good to fry, like little crispy fish fry kind of thing. So it was a really popular thing. And the tradition was the first one you catch, somebody has to bite off the head of the first one for good luck. Mm-hmm. It was kind of a rite of passage for young people.
I don't think you did that, did you?
No, I didn't. Like, no, thank you. However, I was talking to my brother about it, and apparently nobody does that anymore because there aren't very many left in the lake because of zebra mussels that got into Lake Michigan. So you have, in a lot of waterways, these invasive species. I know, like in a lot of the Midwest rivers now, you have those carp that jump out of the water that had escaped from, I think, catfish ponds in like Arkansas, and they made it into the tributaries. And have you ever seen like videos of that stuff? It's crazy. So like you're driving in a boat, they respond to noise and they just jump out of the water and they like smack people in the face. And it's crazy. Like look it up on YouTube.
I will.
Look for leaping carp.
Leaping carp.
Yeah.
Smacks person
and
in the face.
They're big too. Like, so, yeah, I remember there was a reporter for CNN who did a story on it. This was back in like 2007-ish. And then there was something that happened here in Alexandria. I want to say maybe it was during the Gina 6 rally. The reporter from CNN was here covering that. And then there was that incident downtown where a couple of guys drove through with a pickup with Confederate flags on the back to try to rile up the crowd, and they got arrested. And so I went to the police department the next day, and that reporter from CNN was there, and I said, I love the story you did on the flying carp. And he said, I got more comments about that story than any other story I've ever done. And you seem kind of like, you know, like all these other great stories that I've reported on, but that's the one people remember.
That's what I say here is I could report on the most serious investigative piece that I worked on for a year.
Yeah.
And it gets nothing compared to look at this brand new dessert in town.
Exactly. Hey, don't give people the news they need.
You give the people what they want. Outrage and food.
Just like Ron Burgundy said in Anchorman 2. We're back after that.
KSYL. Even though the tariffs are up, the prices at Security Metal Roofing are down. The best prices of the year are happening now, featuring 26-gauge Galvalume, reduced 43 cents a linear foot. You heard right, 26-gauge Galvalume reduced 43 cents a linear foot. Plus, discounts on red iron and other material. We'd rather sell more for less than less for more. Don't delay. Shop these huge savings today at Security Metal Roofing in Alexandria. Call 445-0223 or online, securitymetalroofing.com.
Barksdale Federal Credit Union's home mortgage team invites you to join them for free ice cream at the coolest home product show in Alexandria, the Home Builders Association of Central Louisiana's Home and Product Show, Saturday, September 20th at the Laborde Earls Entertainment Center. Check out the latest home products and learn how Barksdale Federal can help you remodel, build, or buy your dream home. Get details about Barksdale Federal's mortgage options at bfcu.org and come see us September 20th.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Into 11-1, select models only. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK back.
All right, we're back. Let's go to the phones again. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning, Alan. Steven, this is Brendan DeBrock.
Hey, Brendan.
How's it going, man?
Oh, man. Another beautiful morning. Cool and crisp. I love it.
Yeah, it's not bad out this morning.
Yeah, I was listening to the previous caller. You know, that first project is going to be taking place on Black Lake, right off Calcasieu Lake. And so I found it interesting that many people have claimed that CCS has been taking place in Livingston Parish. And some of our own police jury members have even claimed that. And I want to give kudos to Paris Giles for standing up and saying, no, that's not true. So I kind of want to know who is feeding our police jury members that this has been taking place in Louisiana whenever actually it has not. And now we see the first one coming to Louisiana. Another fact that we picked up on is last week there was a meeting, actually a deposition in Baton Rouge. They canceled many of the dockets, but they kept on 19. And I was listening to it and following along. And one of the chief advisors, and he works for NG3, which is the company that's going to be putting a pipeline off of the Green Line heading north from Sulphur. It's going to span 275 miles. And they said that they're going to sequester carbon in Texas. However, we know that that is the first phase that's going to go north to south. They're going to reverse flow to bring it to the Sunlaw Hub. That company, NG3, has already contracted out that project. Now, they did do it the legal way. They did get landowners' permission, and it zigzags across. But this was before the landowners really even knew and understood what was coming. So, but the landowners have signed the contract. So I want to encourage everybody, if you get a letter from any of these companies, and get a lawyer to review that contract before you sign it. In his deposition, the person with NG3 stated that the contract for the pipeline has already been issued. And that company is Lariat Energy. Lariat Energy is a Texas-based company out of Vexus, Texas. So these are not Louisiana jobs that they keep claiming. Lariat Energy does the right-of-ways for the land clearing. They take out the trees. They take out everything. And then they're going to bury this carbon sequestration pipeline 4 feet under the ground. These are not my words. You can look at on the website, and I have the video. It was filmed and recorded, filmed an old term. But 4 feet under the ground, it's going to be an 8-inch diameter pipe, and it's going to be carbon steel. So it will attach to the Green Line, which does span from Texas across and connect the Exxon Denbury line that runs up into Mississippi. The same line that has also had 11 incidences already with leaks. So Brett Guyman, State Rep Brett Guyman, recently on his Facebook, has called out the attention of landowners getting threatening letters. And if anybody receives one of those letters, please contact his office. I have reached out to some of those people claiming that they received a letter, And I'm hoping to get that letter in my hand within a couple of days, because now we're getting reports that people in Sabine Parish are getting said letter. I have no proof of that letter, but of course we know that Sabine Parish and Natchitoches Parish, those people will be affected by the DAC heirloom project coming out of Shreveport, which is direct air capture, which will be the wind turbine sucking in air. And that pipeline will be spanning north to south. And now landowners are on Facebook claiming they're getting a letter, but we have not seen that letter. But I want to encourage landowners that if you do get a letter, to not sign anything. Do not be intimidated by anyone. Contact an attorney.
All right, good advice. Thank you for giving us an update on that.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking at Guyman's Facebook page. Brett Guyman is spelled Geymann, and he said, here's a copy of Landowner Rights when companies are threatening to use eminent domain. The underlying portion is new law added in 2016. Hope it helps those of you involved with Pelican Pipeline in Beauregard Parish. He said, we're still working on the issue. And the last thing he says is the number of folks who contacted us today is both staggering and heartbreaking. Interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take a break. More coming up.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
The world once needed lots of paper made right here in central Louisiana. Now we're making a comeback with clean methanol. Beaver Lake Renewable Energy will turn Louisiana wood into fuel, creating hundreds of direct and indirect jobs and giving loggers a steady market again. It's not just a plant, it's a promise to our land, our people, and our future. Visit beaverlakerenewable.com and find out how we're putting central Louisiana back on the map.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Great news, everybody. Karen is back at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express, located right there at the intersection of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road. Hungry for breakfast? Karen will hook you up with biscuits, croissants, subs, and all the hot coffee you can handle. Just stop by any weekday morning from 6 a.m. till 9 and get your day started right. It's breakfast just the way you like it. Fresh, hot, and satisfying. Now I'm hungry. At Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express on MacArthur Drive at Bayou Rapides Road.
Think your antivirus is enough? Think again. Your business firewall is the first and often only line of defense against cyber attacks. At Kinetics, we manage, monitor, and update your firewall 24/7, keeping threats out and your data protected. Don't leave your network exposed for your team scrambling. Let the experts handle it. Get your free assessment today at kinetics.solutions. That's kinetics.solutions. Kinetics, IT that works.
I have nothing to do. Looking for something to do?
Listen up, Sinlaw.
Come celebrate National Hunting and Fishing Day on Saturday, September 27th at the LDWF Education Facility in Woodward. It's a free event offering fishing, shooting activities, door prizes, and more. Learn more online.
Make plans now for the Red Wagon 5K and 1 mile wagon pull on Saturday, October the 4th at the Louisiana Athletic Club in Pineville. It's a fun-filled day of exercise and activities for the whole family. Check it out online.
Get revved up for the high-octane Classic Meets Modern Car Show on Saturday, October 11th. Come to Vaughn Chevrolet in LeCounte, where old school meets new school, along with music, food, and prizes. It's free, family-friendly fun.
Have a spooktacular time at the Pineville Family Fall Fest Thursday, October the 23rd at the Ward 9 Sports Complex. It's free. Enjoy a petting zoo, jumpers, hot dogs, and candy for everyone. Starts at 6.
Sounds good.
Sinlaw Broadcasting.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's Talk back.
All right, and we are back. Alan Stephen with you here on your Monday morning. Some breaking news. President Trump suggesting that they've reached a deal with China to keep TikTok operational in the United States.
Wonder what that deal is. Find out more.
Yeah, we'll have to dig into that a little bit. But
also in the next hour, we're going to talk about a post from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene on everything that's been happening. I think it's an interesting conversation. So she says she wants the left and the right to have a peaceful national divorce.
Divorce?
Divorce.
I thought you were going to say a peaceful national conversation.
No, divorce. We'll talk about. I'll read the post coming up in the next hour.
So she's saying Big D, and we don't mean Dallas.
That's right.
And Bengals QB Joe Burrow, the former LSU star, apparently will need toe surgery. He hurt his toe yesterday, and that's going to probably sideline him a minimum of 3 months.
Saw that. It's pretty awful.
Whew.
He's been hurt a lot.
Well, their line is horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he just gets pounded. And, like, you've got one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL, and you can't put together any kind of an offensive line. It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
I mean, really, since, like, his second year in the league, their line has just been atrocious.
Everyone assumed that whenever they went to the Super Bowl, this is just the beginning of the success for the Bengals. And when you go, you got to get it when you can, because it's hard to get back.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened to Dan Marino in his career. His second year, he had the 5,000-yard season, 48 touchdowns, which at the time was prolific. Now it's like everybody does that. But Marino probably would have thrown for 8,000 yards in today's NFL.
Who did he lose to in the Super Bowl? Was it the Niners?
San Francisco,
Yeah.
which just had a better team all around.
Yeah.
But everyone thought, well, they'll be back. Well, they never did get back.
Nope.
It goes like that.
Stinks.
It's kind of like Cowboys haven't been in the Super Bowl since 1996.
Or a championship game.
But who's counting?
Oh, not me.
I'm sure.
It won't be this year either, unfortunately.
It doesn't look like it.
Nope.
Struggling to beat the lowly Giants.
Hey, they look pretty good.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump has just delivered the news social media fans have been hoping for. Correspondent Vicki Barker has details from the Foreign Desk.
One day after suggesting he might let TikTok die, 2 days before a deadline for TikTok to find a U.S. owner or be banned in the U.S., President Trump is hinting that a deal has been done with China that will allow the wildly popular social media platform to continue in the U.S. No confirmation yet from Beijing.
Secretary of State Rubio has met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem almost a week after Israel's airstrike targeting Hamas negotiators in Qatar.
It was a decision taken by me and our top security chiefs. It was conducted by us, and we assumed full responsibility for it.
Rubio promised unwavering support for Israel. Netanyahu called President Trump the greatest friend Israel has ever had in the White House. Rubio is scheduled to visit Qatar tomorrow. Utah's governor says the 22-year-old suspect in conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination is not cooperating with investigators. But he says Tyler Robinson's roommate and romantic partner is. Former West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin spent 15 years as a Democrat, then changed his affiliation to Independent last year. He tells CBS Mornings,
our democracy is a representative form of democracy. We represent the people that send us there. And we are the face of the people. We are basically the voice of the people. And if we're speaking all this hatred and diversity and basically just attacking each other, it starts at the top.
If you're still shelling out money for meat, you're probably gasping at the cash register. CBS's Michael George.
The price of beef has shot through the roof, up 13.9% annually in August. Americans were paying around $5.58 a pound a year ago. Now it's up to $6.32 a pound.
Lots of firsts at last night's Emmy Awards. CBS News Los Angeles, Dina Demetrius.
The show ended with the big winner, The Pit, for Best Drama Series, which is a huge surprise and a great win for them, given that this is their very first season. The other big winner was Adolescence, another first-time winner in its first season for limited anthology. The Studio won for Best Comedy Series, again, first-time winner, first season.
A first for Stephen Colbert's now canceled Late Show. It took Best Talk Series. Tesla shares jump after Elon Musk reveals a $1 billion stock buy. Dow futures up 111. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Jeff Palermo. It's a historic day for Southwest Louisiana. State and local officials break ground on a $17.5 billion LNG project that will be built and operated by Woodside Energy Group. The liquefied natural gas production and export facility in Calcasieu is called Louisiana LNG. Calcasieu Parish Police Jury President Judd Barris says Louisiana LNG is expected to generate significant economic growth.
This right here just adds to the reason why you don't have to leave here for a good job.
The LNG facility is expected to become operational in 2029 and employ thousands. It's been a record-breaking year for whooping cough. State epidemiologist Teresa Sokol says through the first 8 months of this year, Louisiana has confirmed 379 whooping cough cases.
This is close to double the previous high number of cases that have been experienced over the past 35 years, and that occurred in 2013 when we had 214 cases.
LRN.
Starting a business can be overwhelming, especially when you do it alone. Don't do it alone. Take control of your future with a Janny King Gulf Coast franchise. With Janny King, you get guaranteed initial growth, reliable operational support, and ongoing education to set you up for success. Janny King has built a proven system that gives you the tools to take control of your future confidently and with the support you need to thrive. The future is yours today at JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean. Well, if you're enjoying this weather, you're going to love this coming week's forecast. But if you were hoping for rain, that'd be too heavy. Our forecast calling for partly cloudy skies today. It is going to be hot. 93 will do it for the afternoon high. No mention of rain in the forecast at all, and little, if any, breeze at all to help cool things down. Tonight, temperatures down to 69 degrees, and it looks like more of the same tomorrow. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Tried to amend my carnivorous habits. Made it nearly 7 a day. Losing weight without speed, eating sunflower seeds. Drinking lots of carrot juice and soaking ovaries, but it's not. I'd have these wonderful dreams. Some kind of sensuous treat. Not zucchini, fettuccine, bulgur wheat, but a big warm bun and a huge hunk of meat. Cheeseburger in paradise. Onion slice. Not too particular, not too precise. On your side, cheeseburger in paradise.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Hour number 2 of Talk Back here on your Monday morning. It's Al and Steven with you on this National Double Cheeseburger Day.
I was wondering why we were playing that song, but I'm glad I know now.
Not just a cheeseburger in paradise, a double cheeseburger in paradise.
I was wanting one yesterday, last night, and my wife didn't want it, so we had to eat something else. Good old burger and fries sounded good.
Oh, my. When does it not sound good?
That's true. It's the best food, probably.
The franchise, I don't even know if these are around anymore. It was a big boy, Bob's Big Boys, credited with serving the first double cheeseburger back in 1937. It also had an extra bun between the two patties, an idea McDonald's later adopted when it created the Big Mac. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
What is that off of?
What I just said?
Yeah.
It used to be a commercial for McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
It was a song. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese.
Oh, I guess it worked on you.
I know. It's funny how you can remember things like that from your youth. And you can't remember what you had for breakfast yesterday.
No, I hear you, man. I was thinking of the O'Reilly song the other day for some stupid reason.
Do you have a go-to place for a double cheeseburger?
For a double cheeseburger?
Or even a cheeseburger?
I'm pretty open to all of them.
Yeah, they're all
Lately, Whataburger is the best for me.
Yeah.
But it changes every couple weeks.
For a double cheeseburger, I feel like you can't beat Burger King.
Okay.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like
I believe
just
it.
a regular double cheeseburger.
Huh? I like McDonald's too.
Pickles, ketchup, and mustard with bun. And, yeah.
I like them all. I mean, they all have their own unique flavor. Wendy's is good too. Yeah, Whataburger's really good though. Good quality ingredients. Fantastic. Spirits burgers are really good. I don't know if you've ever had their burgers.
Yeah, they are. If I go there, I usually get the patty melt.
Those are good too. Yeah.
Love me a good patty melt. All right.
I was going to tell you, I'll tell you off air.
Oh.
Yeah. Nothing. It was just an experience Al and I had one time at Spirits.
I know what you're referring to.
It was me. It wasn't you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course. All you. All right.
It was a good experience. We love Spirits. I go there all the time. It's nothing but that.
Yeah.
It's just inside.
Great place. Great place. All right. 442-8255 is our number on Talkback. One other sports thing I wanted to mention, because you did a story on this the other day, and we never had a chance to really talk about it on Friday because of the events of the week. But congratulations to Warren Morris. It's been announced he'll be inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame coming up next summer. I'm kind of surprised it took this long, but congratulations to him.
That's what I told him when I talked to him. I was like, man, I figured you'd already be in by now.
Yeah.
But that's good for him.
Of course, knowing him, he was probably very humble about it. And
oh, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's excited to be in, and obviously the most legendary play in all of Louisiana sports, probably. Top 3.
Oh, yeah. Play? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one has to be up there. Billy Cannon's Halloween night touchdown run would have to be up there. What else? Maybe
Pick Six. What's his name?
Oh, yeah, Tracy Porter.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Tom Dempsey's 64-yard field goal, which at the time was a record.
Was it 64 or 62?
I'll have to look it up.
You might be right. You would know more than
Which was crazy because back then they did the straight-on kick, and he had like half a foot, so he had like that special shoe. It was like a flat plate.
It's like a club.
Yeah. But he nailed that sucker. Let's see, I can look it up.
I would just say that the Morris home run has got to be the biggest. I mean, that was for a national championship with 2 outs.
You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. 63 yards for Tom Dempsey.
Okay.
And that stood for 28 years. Now you got guys like Brandon Aubrey that are, having that for breakfast.
Yeah. Things change.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Who has the record? Is it Tucker with 66?
I have to look it up. Longest field goal in the NFL. 66 yards, Justin Tucker of the Ravens in 2021.
So 2 years ago, Aubrey, they were attempting a 70-yarder, and they called it off last second.
I remember that.
Should have just let it.
I know.
Please. He probably would have missed it. But
Cam Little, who's with the Jaguars, he hit a 70-yarder in preseason, but that doesn't count for the record book.
I still think that's pretty impressive.
That's incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. You're kicking the ball basically from your own 40-yard line.
We should make it, if you kick it 60 yards and beyond, it's a 4-pointer.
Really? Yeah, that's a good idea.
Make it interesting.
Oh, I know, because you would probably see more attempts at it rather than boring punts.
Yep, and you could, I mean, there's a big risk, too. You can you face a return, possibly.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
You could also do on the kickoff, if you hit it through the goalpost, you get like a point.
That's true.
Make it more interesting.
Well, the kickoff rule this year seems to be working well, in my opinion. It makes it relevant again.
Yeah.
Because if you kick a touchback, you get at the 35-yard line.
Oh.
So you really have to put it in play for the most part. I like it.
That was a good move.
Yeah.
All right, we got some calls coming in on the BOM Bank Talk line, 442-8255. Let's go to those. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Hey, quick question. You mentioned Burger King. Do you know why the 2 Burger Kings in Alexandria closed? And I'll hang up and listen, and y'all have a good day.
All right, thank you. I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Market forces, I don't know.
Yeah, so there was one here on MacArthur Drive, kind of near the TV station.
Yep.
And that's where Mr. Charlie would always buy us breakfast croissants.
Okay.
Seemed like once a week he was doing that.
Then they had the one on Jackson.
On Jackson Street.
Near Johnny's and BJ's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think there's still one open on South MacArthur, right? A Burger King?
I don't know if it is.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to think. I like Burger King. I just don't go very often.
If I go, I'll usually hit either the one on 28 East or in Kingsville. But the one in Kingsville now is hard to get to because of all the construction.
I'll have to wait till November.
Hopefully.
If you visit some of those businesses on 165 near that overpass where they're doing construction, maybe just give yourself 5 extra minutes in the morning to still stop by, grab your coffee at Little Cakes, get your shake over at Nutrition, get your haircut over there, whatever. Because it's tough for them.
They just opened Freddy's.
They
just opened Freddy's.
Just try and support if you can.
Yeah.
I know it's annoying.
Yeah.
Just take one for the team.
It's just one of the biggest challenges is it's hard to know where to turn because, where you normally turn to cross over, you'll start to turn, you're like, oh, well, they got a barricade up. Well, now I have to go a little further up. They still got a barricade. I mean, it's not very driver friendly. Let me put it that way. The way it's all set up, it's and if you're not a confident driver, it's probably very confusing. And if you get stressed out at things that are out of the norm, you're probably going to avoid it altogether.
Yeah, probably so. It's a mess.
But all right, to the phones again. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I was wondering if y'all had any insight into what James Carville has said about the Charlie Kirk assassination.
I haven't seen what he says.
I haven't either. This thing is exploding. A brother from church told me that he saw that it was there were international protests and memorials and stuff, and so he sent me some links later, and I looked it up, and they're even in Africa. There are people memorializing Charlie Kirk, and I listened to his podcast because I was driving all day long, and I had a lot of podcasts to listen to, and I liked the format. They were short, concise, and to the point, and I could listen to it at 1.5 speed. But this was way bigger than just a podcaster. I liked it at first because I saw him sitting there. Traditional marriage is best for raising children. Prove me wrong, and people would come up, and I love that kind of thing. But I didn't realize how big he was. They're carrying signs in Australia on the other side of the planet, saying "We are Charlie" and "This is a revolution" and all kinds of things like that. And I think this is going to go way further than we ever thought it was. I saw that impassioned his wife's testimony there from his thing that you posted on X, and look, I think that girl's determined, and think it's that quote that you made right after it happened the next day about Obi-Wan. I think it's going to be that on steroids, which I'm glad for, because the things he argued for, traditional marriage, family, God, country, these are all things that make for a solid, stable society. And all the things that we were lacking. And I think a lot of people are saying, I want to go back to that. I liked it when we had those values. And so anyways, I was wondering what Carville said, because I heard some other Democrats, and, the ones that are skillful, Newsom, they'll make their platitudes. But Carville, he usually pokes back at his own side when they do things that are stupid. And the dancing on the grave thing that a lot of them were doing is just it shows their true colors. It shows what's in their heart. So anyways, maybe he'll make a statement today. Thanks. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I've seen so many hot takes, and I haven't seen his, though.
I just Googled him. The last thing that he said was about a week ago, September 7th. James Carville, I don't like the Democrat Party right now. But that was before the Charlie Kirk stuff.
Sure.
I think he was talking about their opposition to President Trump's crime crackdown and the backlash facing RFK Jr. So the problem with Carville is if you kind of look for like quotes of his or video clips of his, you got to really screen it first, because he can tend to be a potty mouth.
That's okay. I don't mind a little potty mouth.
Well,
it's like an exclamation point.
But the point is, I can't play it on the air without getting our station in trouble.
That's true.
And we don't want to do that.
We should be podcast. We should do the KSYL
because
podcast.
You know what George Carlin said?
Yeah.
The 7 words you can't say on television.
No, I know it.
Blip, 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 blip.
Well, I mean, this is kind
Have
of
you ever seen that video, Stephen?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times. Good education right there. So Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican from Georgia, just posted this morning about an hour ago, there is nothing left to talk about with the left. They hate us. They assassinated our nice guy who actually talked to them peacefully, debating ideas. Then millions on the left celebrated and made clear they want all of us dead. To be honest, I want a peaceful national divorce. Our country is too far gone and too far divided. It's no longer safe for any of us. What will come from Kirk being martyred is already happening. It's a spiritual revival, building the kingdom for Christ. It'll happen outside, not within the halls of government. And says a couple more things about how they need to have a spiritual revival. And if you're expecting Republicans to fight against evil with the power they currently possess and end this once and for all, you are going to be extremely disappointed. And then goes on some more.
I know sometimes it sounds like hyperbole when they're saying they want us all dead or whatever, or they all want us dead. There are definitely a lot of people out there that have that sentiment.
Yeah, I don't think it's even near the majority.
No, I'm not saying it's near the majority, but even if it's just a few, it's concerning, to say the least. That what have we become as just people when we can have that sentiment in our hearts?
But we're taking these radical online trolls and assuming this is just like the sentiment of a whole group of people. That's where we get into trouble.
Some do that, yeah. No,
and I've been seeing for the right from plenty of influencers and even politicians, like we essentially need to go to war with the other half of the country.
Yeah.
And no, bell terms. They're outright with it. They're saying. So there's blame on both sides after, for sure.
But I do see that people are kind of reaping the repercussions of what they're doing. You're seeing a number of people that are losing their jobs because of things they've said.
Yes.
And people, that's not free speech. No, free speech is you can say what you want without fear of being put in jail for it, like happens in Europe now. But that doesn't mean that your employer or the company or organization you represent can't fire you when you say something that makes them look bad.
Yep. Absolutely.
What's really concerning, because I'm following an account where they are tracking all the people that have been saying horrible things about Charlie Kirk and his death. How many of them are in college education or public grade school or high school education? It's an alarming number It really is.
I mean, if you're critical of what he stood for and his policies, attack that.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
Don't post memes that are gruesome and violent of him and then making a joke out of it.
Yeah.
But if you want to criticize him, he was in politics. That's your right.
Yeah.
You know?
And he wouldn't, that's what he was all about. He wanted you to do that.
He said some kind of controversial things too.
His whole tour name was Prove Me Wrong or whatever it was. So, yeah.
But if you're saying stuff like, I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad this happened. That's just awful.
Yeah.
You know?
You're
I just don't think that's the sentiment of everyday Americans. These are online trolls. And they need to be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah.
Suffer the consequences of employment or, whatever. I don't think you should go to jail over it. But
I think one of the problems countering that is who on the left or who in the Democratic Party could even be the voice to speak to that right now and convince people to not be that way.
I just don't think we've heard all the major ones condemn what's happening and even call out some of that attitude that's been going on. You know, what do you do with irrational online trolls?
Yeah, they don't care about anybody.
I think they're doing it on purpose.
They're more anarcho rather than respecting anybody or anything.
What are we going to do about people wanting to have essentially a civil war and inflaming the situation even worse instead of leading?
No, we don't need that. Okie doke, we need to take a break. We got a lot of calls coming in. If you guys can be patient and hang on, we'll get to you next.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the whoops. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Blended families, bonus children, and co-parenting can bring amazing experiences, but it can also be overwhelming and complicate your estate plan. How can families navigate the process when entering into this wonderful journey? I'm George Fine with Fine Legal Services. When it comes to your family's questions, our team can make planning for the future seamless and transparent. Call your Alexandria, Louisiana attorneys, George Fine and Jeremy Cedars, at 318-767-2226 to learn more, or visit fine-lawyers.com.
LSBA number LA2316294.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Into 11/1 select models only.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
And a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. 1657. We're all about your comfort. That's your comfort.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Young man, do you want to say why you're here, what Charlie Kirk meant to you?
He was my idol. Like, I remember watching his videos, wanting to be like him. Like, I would just see the way he would debate, and he was stayed calm while the left was just yelling at him, and he was just so nice about it. And then they hated him so much because he knew he was right, but they just didn't want to admit it. So they ended up hating him, and they just killed him for it.
What's your name? How old are you?
I'm Bryson Levy. I'm 14.
Man, God bless you, bro. Where are you from?
I'm from here, Oakton.
Man.
All right, back here on Talkback, and there are thousands and thousands of video clips like that were being posted this weekend. And that was a younger black teenager, 14, and he's wearing a shirt and tie. It's just amazing that so many have construed what he was about as being hateful, when we see the other side of it, where there's been so much inspiration. And I saw so many videos of people posting, I'm going to church today for the first time in my life, for the first time in 20 years, or I bought a Bible this weekend for the first time and I'm reading it. And you saw videos of churches that were overflowing and parking lots full and lines even to get into church. And it's like, this is amazing. And I hope it's not just a momentary fad reaction, but maybe it's something really organic that's just growing that I think hopefully can be for the betterment of our country. At least that's my hope, for sure. All right, let's go back to the phones here on Talkback. Good morning. Thanks for waiting.
I certainly think that he would have been president one day because his intelligence was so deep. I got a text last night from his wife wanting me to join Turning Point, and I wonder how many other people got texts from her. I was amazed when it came through, and she asked me to reply. How she got my name and number is a mystery to me. But I think any of the people who reported openly negative in universities should be fired immediately, because that's what's wrong with our universities. They're poisoning our young people's mind. I know firsthand. And as far as Carville, I wish somebody would steal all his LSU shirts and caps, because he is just a detriment to the advertisement for Louisiana and LSU. He is a fruitcake first class. I mean, I cannot imagine anybody that's got a tongue that's loose on both sides like he does. He is such a bad advertisement for Louisiana. Y'all have a blessed week.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate your thoughts.
That's great. No, I would just be careful giving money to something. Just make sure it's legit if it's a link. Because sometimes people would take advantage of something like this.
Yeah, good point.
So make sure that link is legit. There have been fundraising efforts since then from Turning Point, so that could be legit, but just be careful.
Yeah, and I saw 38,000 requests Turning Point has gotten for new chapters. Wow.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
You know, listening to Erica Friday, and I don't know how many of you got to see it. It was, you know, sometimes on a Friday night, people are out and about. They're at high school football games. Yeah, I'm sure people got to see it later. But as I was watching her speech live, because I saw a bulletin that it was coming down, I just was filled with so much respect and admiration for her to be able to stand there less than 48 hours and speak that way with courage. I mean, one of the most courageous things I've ever seen, really. And she promised that the movement would go on, and that for the people that did this, she said, you have no idea what you've just done. But she meant that in a positive way. I believe that it's going to spread just more of his message. And it already has. It completely has. But she is she is something. She is an incredible woman, and I think she's going to carry on that legacy in whatever way possible. I saw today, by the way, on his podcast that J.D. Vance is going to be filling in, which he'll be the first host to fill in, taking that chair since his death, Kirk's death. But it was really Kirk who had a lot of influence on President Trump to pick J.D. Vance. So I guess that makes some sense.
Yeah, he was, I heard, instrumental in that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, more calls coming up, but we have to take another break.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. President Donald Trump said he would speak on Friday with Chinese leader Xi Jinping following trade talks between negotiators from the world's two largest economies this week. President Trump said on his Truth Social platform that the talks between the U.S. and China had gone very well and would be concluding shortly. And he hinted that the sides had reached a deal to keep TikTok running in the U.S., although he did not mention the company by name. Investor attention turns toward the Federal Reserve this week and its meeting that starts tomorrow and wraps up on Wednesday. A quarter-point reduction is seen as a sure thing when it comes to interest rates. A key question for investors, though, is whether officials will push back against market bets on a series of interest rate cuts. Stock futures have been higher throughout the morning after a mixed close this past Friday. The Nasdaq, though, rose 98 points and closed at another new record high. The Dow is down 274 points. The S&P slipped 3. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
One big, beautiful bill. A signature achievement for President Trump. The decisive vote to get it done in the U.S. Senate? Louisiana's Bill Cassidy. Cassidy stood with Trump to provide historic investments in border security. Together, they delivered critical tax relief for working families. And the Trump-Cassidy law will boost manufacturing and energy production right here in America. And when President Trump needed a partner in the U.S. Senate to pass tough new penalties on fentanyl traffickers, it was Bill Cassidy who stepped up and got it done. With Trump and Cassidy, you can count on one thing: a conservative agenda for Louisiana and America. Call Senator Cassidy at 225-929-7711. Thank him for standing with President Trump and for fighting and winning for Louisiana and America. Paid for by Louisiana Legacy Policy Solutions, Inc.
Storms, tornadoes, power outages. It's the season, so get prepared. Get storm ready with Southern Air. Get a free estimate on a generator, the right generator for your home and family, plus 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit. Let Southern Air help you take the worry out of hurricane season. Take action now. Visit southernairnow.com and let us bear it. Or give us a call at 318-777-5555. Keep the lights on with Southern Air.
Well, if you're enjoying this weather, you're going to love this coming week's forecast. But if you were hoping for rain, that'd be too happy. Our forecast calling for partly cloudy skies today. It is going to be hot. 93 will do it for the afternoon high. No mention of rain in the forecast at all, and little, if any, breeze at all to help cool things down. Tonight, temperatures down to 69 degrees, and it looks like more the same tomorrow. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
And I had a conversation once with Charlie where we were talking about the danger that we both face from challenging and
of a grade level, while boys improved 15%. Experts say
Okay. We don't know if we're back with you or not. We just had a power hit that took us off air and offline, and we're back on. Okay. Just got the thumbs up. When we were so rudely interrupted, I was playing a soundbite from RFK Jr. Let's see.
We're all kerfuffled.
Yeah. We lost all of our phone calls, so you guys can call back. We didn't hang up on you, but this is what Kennedy was talking about.
And I had a conversation once with Charlie where we were talking about the danger that we both face from challenging entrenched interests. And he asked me if I was scared to die. And I said to him, there's a lot worse things than dying. And one of those... the chief among those is losing our constitutional rights and having our children raised in slavery. And I said to him at that time, I said, sometimes our only consolation is that we can die with our boots on. We can die fighting for these things. Charlie gave his life so that the rest of us would not have to suffer those fates worse than death. And now it's our job, and he's no longer there to lead us, to rush in and fill the breach and win this battle for our country, for God, and for our families. Thank you.
All right, so that was at the Kennedy Center last night. They had a memorial for Charlie Kirk. RFK Jr. spoke. You just heard him there. And certainly there's a man who is familiar with the concept of assassination, given what happened to his uncle and his own father. And just very powerful to talk about facing that, because I'm sure he's gotten death threats as well. There are a lot worse things than dying. Wow, that was very powerful. All right, welcome back, everyone. Alan Stephen with you here on this Monday morning. Let's go back to our phones. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. You know, I got to confess up to something. I've never heard of Charlie Kirk.
I don't think that's unusual. I think he was really making a huge influence on younger people. But unless, you maybe were on Twitter a lot or other social media, you probably didn't see a lot of him. I don't know that I've ever seen a lot of clips of him on Facebook, for example.
Yeah, I don't do any kind of social media, but I think I've seen his picture before, so I didn't know who it was. I know who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. Isn't she a congresswoman?
She is, yes.
Well, she's talking about divorcing the country, everybody getting divorced. Well, she's still a crap. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not realistic, and it's, I don't know, talk like that.
But aren't we in a stage right now where we're concerned about politicians and their rhetoric?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't there a mayor or a governor or somebody up in Michigan that was shot recently, a female, and her and her husband?
That was Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah.
No,
go ahead.
That's been going on since day one.
Say that again?
Political assassination has been going on since day one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, y'all remember what, back in the 30s, President Roosevelt and President Hoover, they never failed to call out the National Guard and to put down a riot or a crime or stuff like that.
I'd have to go back and look. I'm not as familiar with that, but...
Well, I think I have to go back and look too, but I think it was Hoover that put down that called the National Guard out on the bonus army in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Of course, D.C. is a little different animal than the other states.
Oh, yeah, right. And so back in the 30s, they were communists and socialists that tried to get, because there was a financial crisis going on, people were financially hurting,
right.
And there was a couple of communists and socialists who tried to get political office, and one of them was Huey Long.
That's true, and he was assassinated, wasn't he?
Well, I always wondered about that. President Roosevelt kept Huey Long from speaking at a Democratic convention one year.
Interesting. Okay.
At a Democratic convention?
Yes.
Roosevelt was Republican.
Well, I think he was, but see, he was trying to speak at a Democratic convention, and he was trying to seek national office.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Run for Senate.
And so, right. And so, there was this guy in California called Upton Sinclair. Man, I remember him, Upton Sinclair, because he didn't die until 73.
Really?
Upton Sinclair, he almost became governor of California, and I think that Roosevelt did some really nasty things to him.
Politics stuff. And you're right, to a certain extent, that this has been a part of America since its founding, and it's sad.
But I feel the loss. I didn't know who it was, but I'm sorry he's gone. This didn't happen.
Yeah.
And but anyway,
yeah.
Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. No, and I think what our caller here just said is indicative of a lot of people that are kind of, let me just say, like probably above 30 years old, that maybe heard the name but weren't familiar with his work as much, who now are being exposed to it like never before. And they're actually getting to watch these videos and see, wait a minute, here's a guy that's just trying to talk to people, and sure, they can disagree and debate. It's astonishing how in so many of the encounters, what's coming at him is so angry and hateful. And yet he took that on and engaged in it and tried to have a conversation, even though a lot of times it didn't always work out that well. He'd get flipped off and they'd run away or whatever they would do and things like that. But then there were other people that you could tell he really kind of made him think about things in a different way.
I mean, he was part of what they kind of call it the debate bro culture. Like, I grew up seeing stuff that he posted, what other people posted. It would show up on my feeds because I'm into politics and I'm of that age,
Yeah.
I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but I think we should all just be able to debate in this manner. And you're going to see a lot of the ones where people are getting pissed off at him because that helps the algorithm.
Oh, sure.
And they post a lot of those because he usually owns the irrational ones. Because they're not professional debaters and as knowledgeable about things as he is. It's just part of the algorithm. Then we're all getting worked up over the algorithm and thinking this is everyday America. And you have to remember that these people who are spouting off on both sides of the aisle, your more extremist views, they get paid to do this. And it's creating our narrative. This is not the American narrative. We do not need to go down an even darker path after something horribly dark happened. And we're pointing fingers at they are the enemy. Who are we talking about yet? I've heard so many reports over how he was politically affiliated, or was this some just deranged internet influence person who was crap posting? Like, he was putting memes on these shell casings. Like, no, I'm sorry, everyone out there. I'm 33 years old. I don't even know what the heck he's talking about on those shell casings.
Oh, yeah.
It's confusing. I've heard people who are involved in that culture saying it's the S-word posting, just making no sense whatsoever. A deranged human being. So when you're saying, like, we're having to go after we're attacking this group of people, who are we talking about? And are you using this as a political football to take an advantage over your opponent and destroy the other side? That's my question, and that's what it seems to be when we don't have all the facts yet. And if he is a deranged leftist, take care of it appropriately. Put him through the justice system. If there is some sort of group out there that's propagating this, deal with it. Go
after them,
Yeah, we shouldn't be calling out right extremism. Like, Al, you're a conservative-leaning person. I would never equate you with a white nationalist.
Right.
Yeah. We need to deal with these.
But there are people that will.
100%. And I don't even know what to call this yet because I don't know what to call it. But if there's a deranged Antifa murderous group out there, and there's people on the left, I can guarantee you they don't want a part of that. Let's call political violence and political extremism without putting the tags on it.
Yeah, it's funny because one of the attacks on him was that he's fascist, and yet killing somebody for what they believe is literally the definition of fascism.
Yeah, and both sides are calling each other fascists.
Yeah.
It's well documented. I mean, the vice president called Trump American Hitler. RFK Jr. likened Trump to Hitler. It's coming from everywhere.
Right.
Because we've gotten used to using this rhetoric, and we've been conditioned to do this over and over again, and that's the stuff that gets attention online. We're all acting like this,
Yeah.
And even though a lot of us hear it, we're not going to go out and commit violence, but it makes us hate the other side a little bit more and be more open to thinking of our American neighbors as enemies. It's all conditioned for this.
Yeah. Well said, Stephen. Well, we need to take another break. We'll come back with your calls. Got a couple people waiting. Just be patient. We'll be right back.
KSYL. This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry, with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Dalton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Deer season is fast approaching, and Verzweifelt Farm in Boise has just what you need. Stock up on high-quality, locally grown deer corn to attract those trophy bucks. This corn is triple clean, and they sell it in 50-pound bags or by the pallet. They'll load it, too, by appointment only. So give Trevor a call at 318-715-1322 or visit Verzweifelt Farms online. Remember, get your corn at the farm. That's Verzweifelt Farm on Hot Wells Road in Boise, 318-715-1322.
Tired of noisy neighbors? Want to keep pets in and problems out? Sounds like you need a Promo Fence. At Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, our fences don't just work, they wow. From classic cedar and pine privacy fences to durable chain link, sleek metal, and aluminum, even decorative fencing. We've got something for every home, yard, or business, big or small, residential or commercial. All with free estimates, expert installs, and small town customer care. Promo Fencing and Lawn Care. Fences that feel like home.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talk Back.
You know, you're talking about the Nazi term. I saw a clip with Charlie talking to a guy who's calling him a Nazi, and he said, because he believed something that he said Hitler believed. And he goes, let me ask you a question. Do you have a dog? He's like, yeah, I do. He goes, you're a Nazi because Hitler had a dog.
Hitler loved animals for some weird reason.
Yeah.
But he hated humans, apparently. So.
At least some. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback. Thanks for waiting.
Sure, no problem. Through the power outage and everything, I thought it was because I called.
Yeah, no, it just, we were talking, we were playing the soundbite from RFK Jr., and all of a sudden I was like, we're sitting in the dark looking at each other, like, okay.
It's there on YouTube, by the way, so it's kind of funny. But, you know, Alan, look, it's Brad from Chicago. Alan Steve, man, oh man, is Louisiana making worldwide headlines. Not just for the National Guard possibly coming to New Orleans. Like I said, they may, if you remember my calls earlier, and you got to be subject to it. But are you guys ever or have ever had the House Representative Clay Higgins on?
Not since I've been here.
I don't think so. No. I don't think we've had him on. I know he's on Moon's show quite a bit.
He's not really our DMA, but we would love to have him on.
Gotcha. Oh, you should have him on. Matter of fact, I'll probably write an email over there to make it happen. Because do you know what he said? And this is where we've gone back to the slippery slope thing about people taking advantage of the situation. And what may or may not have happened, because there's a lot of holes and a lot of things about this Charlie Kirk thing. I'm not going to get into that. But what I am going to focus on is when one side, say the Democrats or the Republicans, reacts, the other side will react with way too much. And Clay Higgins has got an issue because what he said was, I'm going to use congressional authority and influence with big tech platforms to mandate immediate bans for life on every post or commentator that belittled the assassination of Charlie Kirk. If they ran their mouth and with their hatred, celebrating the heinous murder, he basically wants to take your driver's license away. He wants to take your business license away. He wants to blacklist you aggressively. You should be kicked out of every school. All this stuff he said, go look it up. It's very alarming. And the reason why I say this is because we cannot trust what we're being told at this point about anything. And the reason why is there is a massive, massive campaign going on, and even President Trump got involved in trying to get the Smith-Mundt Act, which was a law that was in 1948 that basically gave people gave American citizens the right to refuse propaganda, and it was protecting us to be propagandized. That was repealed in 2013. Under Obama, I don't know if you betcha, under Obama, and ever since 2013, everything has gone bonkers. And so you have to take into question, and I know this is going to hurt, and a lot of people aren't going to like it, but you're going to have to question every single event that was televised since 2013, because the law stated they were allowed to propagandize us, create an event that was portrayed as real, and it might not be. So it's not just happening in these Middle Eastern countries where they show some child that looks like they haven't eaten in 20 years being pulled out of rubble. We know that propaganda exists. It also exists here.
Yeah.
And it really is being bombarded upon us. And we have to stand up no matter what and take this all emotion. And this is going to be the hardest part for Americans because we are the most caring, most endearing people that will do anything. We will put our shirt down over a puddle to let another man walk across it, let alone a woman sometimes. That's how polite we can be.
Right.
But we have to take emotions out and realize that our government has been okay, every president, every congressman, everyone, in making propaganda legal against us. And it's only radio stations like this that we have the ability to talk on and discuss it, but they're coming for us. And that's where this fine line, when somebody like Clay Higgins says it, or somebody else on the other side, well, then they're going to come together and they're going to say, you know what, we're going to dictate what is and isn't okay for you to say. And that is un-American.
Right.
That is not freedom of speech.
We should all
have
be
to have it no matter what.
anti-authoritarian no matter what party it comes from.
Yeah.
Pro-liberty.
Exactly. Thank you. This is so hard for people to understand up here when I'm on radio up here and talking about it, or certain parts of the country, but you guys got it. You still have heart and you can't lose it. It's so important. There's way more people listening than you guys think. I've even recruited people to start listening because the conversation is going on right now with Al and Steve on KFIL. It's happening, and I appreciate it. And thank you, guys. Just look into what Clay Higgins said, and please look into the ramifications of the Smith-Mundt Act. We have all been propagandized, and we all have to stand together on this one. Red, blue, green, any color, any sex, any race, all has to stand up, or we're going to lose this place.
Yes,
and
sir.
this is the only place on earth that we can still talk. Have a wonderful day and a great week.
Thanks,
this
Brad.
is going to be a crazy week. Just wait till tomorrow. I'll call in.
Okay.
Brad, I found only one thing wrong with Charlie Kirk. He was a Cubs fan.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
He was a Ducks fan too. That's random.
Yeah, I know. That is kind of...
It's random to be a fan of that team. Because I can tell you 99% of that school population was like in Eugene, Oregon.
But did you see their coach, what he said?
I did say, well, he's usually a pretty decent guy.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Louisiana forests once fueled our economy. Your granddad logged these woods. So did your dad. And now, Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is keeping that legacy alive, turning thinnings and wood byproducts into clean fuel right here in Pineville. It means more jobs, stronger forests, and a future that honors where Central Louisiana came from. Be part of Louisiana's next chapter. Visit BeaverLakeRenewable.com and find out how we're putting Central Louisiana back on the map.
Dentures. You can't live with them, and you definitely can't live without them. But what if we told you there's a better way? Today's Dental in Pineville is here to revolutionize your smile. Say goodbye to old-fashioned adhesives and endless appointments. They've made getting implants incredibly simple, low anxiety, and affordable for everyone. Picture this. In-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist, making the procedure low anxiety and stress-free. And the best part? Their multiple finance options make implants truly affordable. Don't wait. If you're ready to replace those old-timey dentures with permanent implants, call Today's Dental on Highway 28 East in Pineville at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Today's Dental, because you deserve the best.
From America's #1 travel radio show, I'm Robert Carey with today's RM World Travel Minute. And many of you hearing my voice have either flown on a Spirit Airlines flight or know someone who has. Well, the chances of that being a reality in the future, they're dwindling. If you haven't heard by now, Spirit has filed for their second bankruptcy in less than a year. And as I've been saying for several years now, this is not an airline that's poised to survive. Will their competitor, Frontier Airlines, gobble them up, or will the company's assets be sold off in blocks? Well, we'll see how that unfolds. But the days of Spirit Airlines being a viable U.S. airline, they're over. In just a few weeks, they'll be ending flights to Albuquerque, Birmingham, Boise, Chattanooga, Columbia, Macon, Oakland, Portland, Oregon, Sacramento, Salt Lake City, San Diego, and San Jose. Certainly not a recipe for success. Now, both United and Frontier are adding flights, so at this point, can we responsibly recommend you fly on Spirit, knowing all that we know about the current state of their operations and their balance sheet? No, we can't. With the holidays ahead, don't take the chance your flight won't happen if they suddenly cease operations. More travel info at rmworldtravel.com.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK-TALKBACK.
All right, well, here's the tweet that Clay Higgins put out September 11th. Interestingly enough, I'm going to use congressional authority and every influence with big tech platforms to mandate immediate ban for life of every post or commenter who belittled the assassination of Charlie Kirk. If they ran their mouth with their bleep hatred celebrating the heinous murder of that beautiful young man who dedicated his whole life to delivering respectful conservative truth into the hearts of liberal enclave universities, armed only with a Bible and a microphone and a Constitution, those profiles must come down. So I'm going to lean forward in this fight, demanding that big tech have zero tolerance for violent political hate content, the user to be banned from all platforms forever. I'm also going after their business licenses and permitting. Their businesses will be blacklisted aggressively. They should be kicked out from every school, their driver's licenses revoked. I'm basically going to cancel with extreme prejudice these evil, sick animals who celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination, and I'm starting that today.
Well, it's not going to pass in Congress, I'm sure, but...
Speaking of Congress, Senator Mike Lee, who's from Utah, said, and this follows up on what Brad was talking about, says in the coming days he's going to file his previously drafted legislation to restore the Smith-Mundt Act and rename it the Charlie Kirk Act. Domestic political government-funded propaganda must end now. I'd seen a couple of people suggesting that that's what they should do, and sounds like he's going to pick up the mantle on that. Caller, I only got about 30 seconds. I'm sorry. Can you get your point in?
What was the final LSU score?
Oh, what was the final LSU score? Let me check for you. I think it was 20-10.
Yeah, you're right. 20-10.
Yes.
Who won?
LSU.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So I thought, but then the clock reset. So, all right, we still have a little time. But yeah, that Smith-Mundt Act, it would be that would be a fascinating academic study to see how communication messaging has changed since 2013.
Well, I mean, we've had so much more technology, too, and so many more people with an ability to broadcast.
Right. All this reminds me of the scene that James Gunn, the director, put in the new Superman movie, where Lex Luthor is controlling all the internet trolls, and it's a bunch of monkeys that he's trained to type stuff on the social media.
All the bots.
Yeah.
The bots.
All the bots were really monkeys that were trained.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that hate-filled tweets and blue skies are...
You've been listening to Talk Back.
Real people.
The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting. AM 970, FM